What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. We're doing this one for the Dragon Riders, man. Every single one of you out there. Yes, we are riding the Red Dragon for the past couple days, whatever. It's to be expected. We saw a really big move up, and there's not a whole lot of volume on the way down. It's okay. We got really hot on the RSI. We went all the way up to a 95.6, man. That's very hot. We're cooling down a little bit. We might find support on this RSI somewhere around here, which would lead me to believe the price could come down a little bit. We could find support here. We could pull up and find support at previous areas of resistance on the RSI as well. So we could find support anywhere and everywhere from where we are, a little bit higher, a little bit lower. Maybe we go lower than that. Maybe we go all the way to the 60, but we still find some kind of higher low in this prevailing structure that we have. I absolutely, you guys, absolutely 110% believe that this is not the high, that we will go higher than this. Momentarily, could we pull back a little bit? Sure. If we were to kind of take this into consideration, this relative low to the high, the 382 is all the way down there at about $339. It's very, very common to go a little bit below the 382. And what's just below the 382? This previous high right here, that wick. So we could go all the way back to about 330. If we do that, again, guys, I said it in my last video about Bitcoin Cash, and I mean it in this one. That's going to be the last time. If we go down there, it'll be the last time. If not, this was the last time. This week that we just had was the last time that we'll ever see prices below $330 for Bitcoin Cash ever again. I don't just mean in this cycle. I mean ever again. Never, ever, ever, ever again, you guys. So prices right now where they are, as we climb higher, these will be forgotten about. They will be things of legend. We are still, even after this phenomenal 75.8% pump, we are still at the prices of when you're a grandma, when you're a grandpa, and your kids are like, wow, you bought Bitcoin Cash when it was below $10,000. We're at $444 right now. It's still a good time. It's still a really good time. But in the meantime, getting all that crazy talk aside, we absolutely could pull back. Seeing a pullback to the 382, it's a very normal thing to do. And then beyond that, what is it right here on this overall fib? Going from the 618 to the 0.5 or even to the 382 is pretty common in itself. And we tipped the 618, literally. So going to the 0.5, that's also kind of right above that area. We don't have to touch the 0.5. We don't have to touch the 382. We could go somewhere in between as well. But I would think, anything from, let's say, 372, 373, maybe all the way down to 260 is possible. But I personally don't think that we're going to see that because, again, accumulation range or consolidation range, we just broke it. I don't think we're gonna go all the way back down to it. It could happen. I mean, it can happen. It can happen. Broke out of it here, came right back to it, and then you went off to the races. It can happen. You broke all the way up here. You broke out of this longer phase, and then you touched back below the points of accumulation, or resistance. It can happen. Absolutely, it can happen. So, Bitcoin Cash is a volatile asset, you guys. Even here, it doesn't look like it's that volatile, but man, week after week, you're going up, you're going down. If you were actively trading Bitcoin Cash, all you had to do is put a sell order at 256, 255, and a buy order at 220. If you did that week after week, day after day, you'd be making money for months. You would have killed it. You really would have. It's a very volatile coin, and whenever it's in these tight ranges, which it's not really known for most of the time, but there are times where it is like this, it can be a very tradable coin. It's definitely more tradable than a lot of cryptos are, in my opinion, but it's also a good one to just hold for the long term because I think we're going to see dramatically higher prices. But man, I'm getting off topic here. What I'm trying to say is, we do have bearish divergence technically, but I don't know if I'd look at it like that. Because this is just so far away compared to all these highs, it's not bearish divergence. So I wouldn't look at it like that personally. This is bearish divergence, but this is different. It's different in my opinion. What do I want to look at here? Looking at the daily again. Yes, we could go a little bit lower. Yes. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was going to finish up with the 618, going to the 0.5, finding support there, and then moving higher. That's a very classic thing to do. So don't be discouraged. Even if we do move down to 380, 370, something like that could happen. I do want to look at the 4-hour real quick as well. 4-hour doesn't look bad. It could look like it wants to go lower, but kind of looks like you could bounce from here, like you really could. Though I wouldn't be surprised if we saw lower prices, but it depends. It all depends. Let's see, 2 hour. 2 hour doesn't look as good. 1 hour looks like it wants to go lower. Oh, but that's not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, man. Yeah. I want to look at this on the templates here. Logarithmic. We're pretty far away from our ribbon, aren't we? Pretty damn far, and that's all the way back at 340. We could come all the way down, again, giving real possibilities, real recognition to the possibility that we could see prices below 350, around 330, somewhere around there. After a move like this, pulling back to your ribbon is not totally uncalled for. I don't know why I'm on automatic. I don't like that. See if I can find an example. This is that long phase of accumulation. I don't know. For example, here you dumped really hard and then inevitably pulled back to it. Technically you just moved sideways until the ribbon pulled back to you, which you also could do here. You could just move sideways until the ribbon comes up, and then that's when it's go time. But either way, I would think that we do interact with this ribbon potentially before we continue to move higher. On a weekly basis, I don't think we go that low. But, man, it's definitely looking good. The weekly ribbon looks really nice. I want to look at the monthly. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. We're looking like we want to see a cross. This would be the first monthly cross that Bitcoin Cash ever sees. It's going to take more time. It's going to take several months from now, but I think we're in the beginning of that. I think that's really what we're in the beginning of right now. The last time that we broke out, we closed above this here, right? 17% month. The next month we saw 84% in growth. From that close, the first month that we got above the ribbon, we saw an increase over 2 months of 203%. So over 2 months, same kind of idea. 203%. I mean, man, that could take us all the way up to $1,363, which in 2 months' time, I don't know if I personally expect that to happen, but I'm just saying we've seen it before. It could happen. I do think that by the end of the year, we will surpass the previous cycle's highs, and I think that we will continue to go higher. Obviously, I think we're going to 13 to 23K by the end of the cycle, but there's one more thing I want to look at too. Leave page, refresh it. Let's go back to BCH. Look at the Heikenashis. I'm sure they look good, but I'm just curious. Weekly doesn't look too daily. Yeah, whatever. Okay, not really anything there. All right, whatever. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for you. I think Bitcoin Cash is potentially in the middle of a move that could send us down, anywhere from 370 to 330, something like that. That might not be right. Hold on. 330 is a real target, but maybe not 370. Let me see here. Top to bottom. No, it was. Okay, so 380 to 330, somewhere in there. Probably don't go to this 382. I wouldn't expect it. It could happen, but I don't expect it to. But 380 to 330 is the potential targets, unless we just continue to move up from here, which we absolutely could do. If we do find support on the daily RSI in this overbought zone, if we see a nice little bounce up here, that could be enough to generate a further move up, at least to 660, 650, somewhere in that area, potentially all the way up into the 800s as well. But time will tell. Time will tell. So if you guys like the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you all for coming. I will see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. And, if you're looking to buy this thing, not financial advice, but it's at a better price to buy now than it was whenever it was at its high, right? At its recent high here. From top to bottom, we've already dropped 18%. I would think you've got lower to go. If you're patient, you might be able to buy this thing down here, but maybe not at the same time. If you don't have any skin in the game, if you don't own any of this at all, it might be a good idea to DCA. Don't put all of it in at once, but maybe do 10% day after day or week after week, something like that. With how quickly I expect this to happen, I'd probably say, I don't know, it's up to you. I'm not a financial advisor, it's not financial advice, but at least once a week, DCA into this thing, however much you want to do. I wouldn't advise buying everything all at once, but do what you want to do. Again, not a financial advisor. So take care. Bye-bye. See you on the next one.